Now, in other news, I read a story and it's just titled "Things That Surprised a New Yorker About the Midwest." So, yes, I had to read that. New Yorkers define the Midwest as everything in between New York and Los Angeles. That's the Midwest. This guy seems to actually know that the Midwest is, the Chicago area. But he wanted to talk about the surprising things that he found in the Midwest in some of these small towns like Chicago and Detroit. I'm not making that up. The things he found in these smaller towns of Chicago and Detroit. He said, I grew up on Long Island. I moved to New York City 6 years ago. I'm born and bred New Yorker, but I found a few things that really surprised me about the Midwest. As a resident of Brooklyn, I quickly learned it's nearly impossible to have a moment of solitude in New York. Everywhere you look, there's people. No matter what time of day, there's almost no such thing as an empty street in New York. But in the Midwestern cities I visited, now I'm thinking Kansas, and not even Kansas City, just some place in the Midwest, some place in Nebraska. No. He was talking about Chicago and Detroit. He said, I walked through Chicago, for example, and there were some neighborhoods, especially downtown in the Loop, that seemed almost completely empty. Even some of the subway stations seemed deserted. It felt eerie and almost apocalyptic to be walking down city streets alone. Well, that could be a little something to do with Lori Lightfoot. I'm just saying. While the pandemic definitely plays a part in this, it's important to note the vastly different population sizes. Chicago only has 2.6 million people, while New York City has over 8 million. Wow, that surprised me. Did you know, Stu, that Chicago was smaller than New York? So the first thing that he was surprised by is things move at a slower pace in the Midwest, including trains and restaurant service. He said trains in Chicago run every 10 to 15 minutes, while, in New York, they run every 5 to 10 minutes. And that surprised him.
Deep. It's almost, it makes you reconsider everything.
You wait. He says there seems to be a greater emphasis on nature in some of these smaller towns, Chicago and Detroit, than in New York City.
Detroit and nature are one. That's how usually because the plants have fought back and taken over the old buildings that are crumbling.
Exactly right. That's not a park?
No. It's just a home.
To my surprise, he says, many Midwesterners told me winters aren't as bad as New Yorkers made them out to be. Well, dude, they were just lying to you about that. He says Chicago in the winter, according to some of the locals, isn't so bad.
They're lying to you. They're definitely lying to you.
Yeah, they're lying. I was surprised, however, to see no parking signs that were weather dependent.
Wait.
I was even more surprised about how hot it gets in the Midwest. And one of the things that shocked me, I'm quoting, everyone I met was extremely nice in the Midwest, unlike many in New York. Pedestrians.
I love Chicago and stuff, but it doesn't seem. I've been there. It's like the nicest city in the world. No,
no, it's not. No, it's not. Pedestrians wave and thank cars as they cross intersections. Things are cheaper in the Midwest. Things are cheaper in the Midwest.
It's like a bad Wikipedia
the Midwest
page.
The Midwest has more than enough entertainment and culture to keep any traveler busy.
Yeah.
That's great. That's crazy. It's crazy. He's got more of these. You can look this up. Things that surprised a New Yorker about the Midwest. He doesn't get out very often or watch TV, or he doesn't know anyone outside of his circle.